Orioles on Masson, and happy are the birds to be back home to open up this homestand. It's the Toronto Blue Jays. 3 against the Jays, 6 games on this stand for the Orioles. For the Orioles, a very successful road trip. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne. The Orioles going 6-4 on that trip. Sure, you'd like to win more, but when they left, if they knew they were coming home with that, there would have been a smile on their faces. Now what they want to do is do the same thing they did on the road to start that trip against Toronto. These two teams really went at it. The Orioles won the series in Toronto, first time since '08. Nolan Reimold, who's not going to play tonight, had 2 games there, 5 for 10, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. The teams combined for 14 home runs, 7 each, with the Orioles winning the series 2-1. And for both Toronto and the Orioles, Meg Bordick, they come in after playing some pretty good baseball.
Well, they sure did. Toronto just swept Kansas City, and the Orioles had a great road trip where they started off beating Toronto 2 out of 3 up there, went to Chicago, took 3 out of 4, and finished the series against Anaheim with a tough win, coming away feeling good about themselves. So this has the makings of being a really good series.
You know what the Orioles want, of course, is for Tommy Hunter to be feeling all right and to look good on the mound. An important game for him.
Well, it sure is. You know, he struggled the last couple outings, keeping that ball up, but he had a really good bullpen session. You know, he's confident. He pitches well here at home. He's a competitor. He's going to go out there and give it all he's got and keep this ball club in the game and hopefully come away with a win tonight.
All right, we'll see what happens. Orioles back home after a day off yesterday, and the Toronto Blue Jays, a red-hot ball club, the opponent. We'll take a look at the Orioles starter when we come back. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by Jeep. Jeep and the unique brand of freedom you'll find only in the full line of Jeep vehicles. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. Back at home, Tommy Hunter will take the mound as the Orioles will try and continue winning ways, picking up right where they left off on the West Coast. Be it home or away, it has made a very big difference for Tommy Hunter. Since being traded to Baltimore, away, the numbers 1-3, the 45 innings, and a very high ERA. On the other side of it, when he's home, reverse the record. Innings right there are the same, the ERA a whole lot better.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Master Sergeant Bob McDonald from the United States Army Chorus performing our national anthem on what right now is a gorgeous evening. Take a look at our train game time temperature, 63 degrees, very gentle breeze blowing out towards center or left, but not much, only 21% humidity, partly cloudy. Visit train.com for an independent train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train. Let's take a look at the starting lineup tonight for the Toronto Blue Jays. It'll be Escobar, Johnson, and Bautista. Encarnacion, Lynn, Laurie, Rasmus, Thames, and Mathis. Jose Bautista so far this season with the 3 home runs. See your authorized Dodge dealer and experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive or go to Dodge.com and check out their powerful lineup.
Well, Tommy Hunter's on the mound tonight. He's looking to bounce back from a couple rough outings. But Tommy's a great competitor. He's going to give it all he's got out there tonight. Hopefully get the ball down. That's been his problem here recently. If he can work the bottom of that strike zone, he's going to have a lot of success.
Tommy Hunter has had the back problems that have bothered him throughout the season so far. So the hope is that is not going to be something that's going to continue for him. And it really is shown in whether or not he can get the baseball down in the strike zone. If he's unable to move with the oblique and back problems that he struggled with, then you see a lot of pitches up, and you really don't want to pitch up to this ball club with the home run hitters they've got. So we'll keep an eye on that tonight, see whether or not Tommy can get the back bent and get those pitches down. He's really, Mike, he's trying to pitch through some pain that he's had and hope that he's not going to have to take any time off.
Well, yeah, he got that at the end of spring training, so he is a little bit behind in that regard. But you're right, that ball, when he gets that ball elevated, he gets hurt. He gave up 4 solo home runs on his last start against Toronto.
All right, let's see how it looks to start. This team is playing some good baseball, coming off that 4-game sweep against Kansas City, which 4-game sweeps obviously don't happen in the major league level very often. Escobar will be leading it off. Yunel Escobar comes in with 5 walks. He's had 74 at-bats and 18 hits so far, and goes after the first pitch and fouls it away. A couple of doubles and a home run among the extra base hits for it. See the numbers against Hunter. He, of all the Jays in the lineup, has the best numbers against Tommy Hunter lifetime. Here's the right-hander's 0-1 delivery, and a good heater, probably out of the strike zone away, and it goes to 2 strikes.
Well, it's nice to see his velocities up in the early going. I mean, if he can throw that ball up and out of the strike zone, there might be some success there. And also, like we had talked about earlier, keep it down. But, you know, it's his velocity has been a little bit down here in the early going as well, probably stemming from those back problems.
Here's the 0-2 delivery to Escobar. Thought about going after it, stays off it, and it is up high. Escobar had a good series in Toronto against the Orioles, as he went 4 for 14 with a home run and 3 RBIs. John Farrell, the skipper of the Jays, they are 10-6, tied for first in the division with the Yankees. And Escobar, just protecting a little bit right there, will foul that one off. He reached away in a 1-ball 2-strike count.
Well, Weeder's given that target down low early here in the game, which is really important. He ought to try to bounce a couple here just so he can get that arm angle down. And
the 1-2 delivery on the way, and that will be fouled back. If you are a pitcher, this is the kind of first at bat in a ball game you just as soon pass up. If you're a hitter, this is exactly what you want to do. Make that opposing starter have to throw some pitches here just to get the ball game underway.
Well, that's what a leadoff hitter is supposed to do. You know, see a lot of pitches.
In the air, left center field. That's near the warning track. Chavez chases that one down, and the battle won by Hunter.
Pretty nice play there by Indy. And Chavez is in left field, as we just saw. Jones in center. Markakis over in right. Ryan Flaherty playing third base tonight. J.J. Hardy at short. Robert Andino, almost a new proud papa, is playing second base. Chris Davis at first. And Matt Wieters doing the catching.
Well, you bring that up. The Orioles are going to be a little bit short-handed. There is Flaherty, the Maine native, at third base, getting a start in this ball game. You have a ground ball pitcher on the mound for the Orioles. 67% of the outs so far have been recorded by Hunter on the ground, which is inconsistent with the fact he's given up 6 home runs.
Right. It doesn't make much sense, does it?
No. But those are the numbers. Here's Kelly Johnson. He's playing at second base. They can't talk enough about Johnson in the Toronto organization. They think they got a Gold Glove second baseman of the future.
He's really been playing well for them, showing some early pop in the early part of this season as well, and playing a stellar defense.
Here's a 1-1 delivery on the way, an off-speed breaking ball that is up high. Brian Gorman has the plate tonight.
And Johnson, part of that double play combination that leads the majors right now with 25 double plays. They turned 9 in the Kansas City series.
2-1 delivery on the way and a check swing. Went around on it. Gorman. Home plate umpire makes the call on that. Johnson had a 3 for 13 with a couple of home runs and 3 RBIs in the series in Toronto against the Orioles, and a home run last night against the Royals. And that one is going to be down the line, and that's going to be a foul ball.
Well, the Orioles have a shift on Kelly Johnson tonight, and right there fighting that off. That would have beat the shift if it would have stayed fair. See J.J. Hardy playing over on the second base side of second base. That's a full shift.
John Farrell is using a lot of shifts in the American League. We've seen a lot early on. 2-2 delivery will miss up high, and the count will go full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Farrell going with the numbers. He and Joe Madden probably the most pronounced teams as far as shifts being used against both right and left-handers. 3-2. You could see Hunter bend down on that one to follow through, and he fouls that one off. The count will stay at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
That was a nice pitch right there, running that in on Johnson.
Well, the 8th pitch of this at bat is about to come to Kelly Johnson. First 2 hitters fouling off some pitches and taking some, and fouls off another one. Well, Hunter being tested early in this ball game.
He has been. You really don't want to throw this many pitches early in the game, but he's being aggressive. He's going at the hitters.
3-2 for the 3rd time, and it looks like he'll win another battle. Endy Chavez coming in, Flaherty out. Chavez calls him off and makes the play. And that's the way it's supposed to be done. 2 down. And our words worth repeating regarding the Orioles starter. His words: I'll find my fastball. I'll find it. It will come. Just got to reach in my back pocket and pick it out. I don't know what it is. I don't know what happened. This is his last start Wednesday night. I got to figure it out. Bottom line. Fastball just wasn't there in his last outing.
No, it sure wasn't. And, you know, I really think it's because he was behind a little bit in spring training. I mean, so many pitchers, if they don't get the full, you know, pitch amount and the workout through the course of a spring training, their arm strength isn't going to be there.
And here is Bautista. Jose Bautista will foul that one back. Bautista trying to find his home run swing for Toronto against Hunter. The 4 for 19. No home runs against the Orioles starter. He's had 3 home runs this year with 9 runs batted in. Shift is on for him as well as the Orioles move their second baseman Andino to the shortstop side of the bag. Well, they're playing about straight away in the outfield, and the definite shift on in the infield. Here's the 0-2 delivery to Bautista, and that's up high.
Yeah, Wieters wanted that pitch up and away, and that's what he got. Just to kind of change the eye level a little bit. Bautista is a great power hitter. He did hit one last night in Kansas City.
1-2 delivery, slider that's going to miss up high. As you would expect, he is picking up his share of the walks. He's had 14 free passes to lead the team, 8 strikeouts so far in the year. Bautista among the leaders in walks in the American League. That's laid right in there. So Tommy Hunter had to throw a few, 19 to be exact, but he retires the side in order. A look at the Orioles lineup when we come back. Start of the 6-game homestand for the Orioles against the Jays. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the O's, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Chavez, Hardy, and Markakis, Jones, Wieters, and Davis, Betabit, Flaherty, and Andino. And you see the numbers for Nick this season, and he's picked it up of late.
Here's the scouting report on Henderson Alvarez. He's a ground ball pitcher. He has a really good sinker. He utilizes that defense to his advantage for sure. He's a young gun. He's just turned 22 years old. So he doesn't have much experience at the big league level, but he definitely has a lot of tools.
Part of the really young staff this Toronto team has. There are the numbers he's put up. He went up against Boston, the Orioles in Toronto, and Tampa Bay so far. And against lefties, 156, 3 home runs by righties who are hitting 268. The amazing number for him, 90% of leadoff batters are retired so far. I mean, that is unheard of.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
He won't have that for the rest of the year, but even to have that through 3 starts is pretty amazing. Andy Chavez in the leadoff spot, only 3 hits in his last 25 at bats. Nolan Reimold is out again. Getting a little more concerned, the Orioles are. It's spasms, but Bud Showalter admitted before the game tonight, with spasms, there's also a strain. And when Reimold's going to be ready to play is not clear, and he wouldn't say if he could play tonight if he had to. Base hit into left field with a drawn-in infield. So a single to lead it off for Andy Chavez.
Blue Jays defense tonight. Eric Thames out in left field. Colby Rasmus in center. Bautista over in right field. Brett Lowry, the young third baseman. And Escobar playing short. Kelly Johnson at second base. Adam Lind at first base. And Mathis doing the catching.
The Orioles are quickly becoming short-handed. Here is Hardy. Hardy had a 1-for-9 in Toronto. Jim Johnson, the closer for the Orioles, is not available tonight. He, like many of the Orioles, suffering with a flu bug. Had to go to the hospital last night, spent the night in the hospital. So the Orioles do not have their closer available. Reimold probably is not available. And Dino's going to be leaving the club after this game to go for the birth of his daughter. And he's going to be away probably for 2 games. So the Orioles beginning to look a little short-handed, if you will. Some decisions are going to have to be made after tonight's game about what this roster is going to look like for Game 2 tomorrow.
You're all right. They don't know if they're going to bring up an outfielder or an infielder at this point.
0-2 count on J.J. Hardy. JJ's had a couple of hits in his last 19 at bats, has dropped his average down to that 180 mark. Andy Chavez being held by Lind at first base. Alvarez, nobody's tried to steal against him in the 3 starts so far. Mathis, backup catcher, working there. That ball hit deep to left field. That's near the wall. It'll take a shot midway up. Played by Thames, gets away from him. They'll hold the runner up. It's going to be a double, and the Orioles are off to a start against Alvarez.
Nice piece of hitting right there by J.J. Hardy, who has been struggling as of late. Gets this pitch up and over the plate and does some damage with it. Great swing right there by J.J. Hardy, and I'm sure his confidence is going to go skyrocketing after that swing.
Actually got by the left fielder. Rasmus, the center fielder, backed it up, but did so quickly enough so they could not pick up the extra base. So J.J. Hardy's got his first double of the season, and the Orioles have a great chance with 2 in scoring position and Nick Markakis up,
who has been really hot as of late.
Nick finished up very strong on the West Coast, getting the RBIs in the game on Sunday, all 3 of them. And Markakis hopes that's going to lead to some more big games. The last 5 hitting .350, and they have been very productive hits, picking up RBIs, as we said, all 3 in that game against the Angels. So Nick gets the chance here. Laurie will play in at third base. Markakis will take the off-speed delivery up high for a ball. Orioles would love to start this homestand out with some early runs. Nick's gone 3 for 12 with runners in scoring position. The 22-year-old Alvarez with a 2-0 delivery on the way. Markakis will take it down low for a ball.
Well, this is something you definitely have to worry about if you're the Blue Jays. Such a young pitcher early in the game. You know, you talked about his success against leadoff batters, so that might have gotten in his head a little bit. Oh my gosh, I just gave up a leadoff hit. J.J. Hardy puts a great swing, gets a double over the left fielder's head, and here you are at the start of the ball game. He hasn't gotten anybody out. You know, young players can get rattled a little bit.
I mean, that's only the second leadoff batter of an inning this year to reach base on Chavez's single. 2 out of 20. 3-0 count. See if Markakis gets an early green light or not here. Nick will take it. It is in there for a strike. The Orioles hitting .232 as a team with runners in scoring position. That is next to last in the American League. This series brings together the team that's ranked 13th and the team that is ranked 1 in that department. That's the Jays, hitting .341. 3-1 delivery to Markakis, and that's down low, and they're loaded. And Alvarez in trouble here in the first inning.
Nice at bat, and there was a fastball down and away that we had seen over the last weekend get called to strike, and Nick kind of hesitated right there. He didn't know what to expect, and he got the call to go his way this time.
So now the Orioles with the sacks full, and their cleanup batter Adam Jones coming to the plate with the 5 home runs. Adam has been just off to a great start. Chavez the single at third, Hardy the double at second, and Nick Markakis with the walk on at first base. And a chance to really open this game up. Outfield will play deep, infield double play depth against Adam Jones. Adam will take the pitch outside for a ball. See, the most RBIs for center fielders. Matt Kemp leading the world in about everything. Since 2009, he's on top. Curtis Granderson, and then Adam Jones, followed by Chris Young and B.J. Upton. And Adam would like to continue to be productive in that way. And not biting on these pitches, so looks like Brian Gorman's going to make the pitchers throw some strikes in this game.
Well, that one was definitely a ball, but well, you tip your hat to Adam Jones. Now, this is a situation we've seen in the past where he's just been a little bit over aggressive and swings at those sliders down and away, but you can tell his patience and his maturity at the plate right now.
Jones with a 2-0 delivery, looks for one to hit. That's going to go to the hole. Escobar, Johnson, the quick relay, and they turn the double play. So another one for the team leading the league in double plays. Andy Chavez will score. The Orioles get a 1-0 lead, no RBI.
Well, Henderson Alvarez tries to get in a chase, slider away, another slider down and away, and There's that sinker ball that he's known for, and induces another double play. The leading Blue Jays are 26th of the year so far.
That is the first ground ball double play that Adam Jones has hit into this year. Came at a tough time. Now the runner at third base. Here's Matt Wieters. Wieters with an 0 for 3, and the only times he has faced Alvarez, and Alvarez has got a chance to get out of this inning, giving up only 1 run. Matt, of course, left-handed, 289. All 5 of his home runs have been hit left-handed. Right-handed, he's 3 for 10. All 12 RBIs have come from this side of the plate. A breaking ball that came in on him, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
Well, it's probably not the ideal situation to hit into a double play with the bases loaded, but the Orioles did mark first. And the Orioles have success this year when they do score first on the opposing team. They're 7-3 this year.
1-ball, 1-strike count. Alvarez into him towards first base, handled by Lynn. Pitcher covers, and Alvarez is there to get the out. The Orioles get a run on a couple of hits. They lead 1 on, and after 1, the O's lead the Jays. Call for the Luna Double and get your second room of flooring free. 877-241-LUNA. Gary Thorne, Mike Bordick, and Tommy Hunter on the mound, looking for the victory. It will be his second of the year, 1-1. He has a 1-3 mark lifetime against the Toronto Blue Jays. For Hunter, this will be his 8th start against them. In 9 career appearances, he's gone 1-3 with a 6.65 ERA. Tommy here in this ballpark. This will be the 9th start here. He's 4-1, has a 3.73 ERA at Camden Yards, and we'll look to extend that. Arncanasio on the cleanup batter. And he'll take that slider away for a ball. He's 3 for 9 with a home run lifetime off Tommy Hunter.
Gotten off to a...
Wow, that'll bring rain. Have a cup of coffee and a donut, and then come back and catch it. Andy Chavez is there, and he's got it. He's had 3 putouts already.
Andy's probably really happy to be out there, get an opportunity to play every day. He had a nice series when he had that opportunity out in Anaheim. Gets another start tonight. He already made a couple nice plays out there.
Orioles really not saying much about Nolan Reimold at this point, other than the spasms and neck strain, and it's kind of day to day. Here's Adam Lind. Lind at first base. And he'll take the pitch on the inside for a ball. He has faced Hunter a number of times, only 3 for 22 in his career against the Orioles starter. At 136 average. And that pitch is going to miss. 2-0. Now, those last two pitches on the West Coast would both have been strikes.
We need the West Coast strike zone.
Hunter with a count at 2-0. Lynn will foul that one back. We're talking about the fact the Jays won that 4-game set against the Royals. There are only 2 other teams in Major League history who are off to an 0-10 or worse start at home. Kansas City has lost all 10 games at home. Compliments of the Jays in their sweep. The other 2 teams, the Seattle Pilots, who became the Brewers, they lost all 10 games of a homestand in 1969, and the Diamondbacks started 0-11 in July of 04 at home. 3-1 delivery on the way, and that's going to be chopped foul, and a 3-ball 2-strike count.
Well, another tough battle up here for Hunter, and he's got to be careful with Lynn. Obviously, he's been leaving some balls up here in the early going, but Lynn has had a great history of power hitting. I mean, in 2009 he had 35 home runs. Numbers have fallen off a bit over the last couple years, but he has tremendous power potential.
He has had a tough road trip, 2 for 16. 3-2 delivery, and that one's going to be fouled back. Flaherty coming over, but there'll be no play on it, and the count will stay at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Flaherty happy to get a chance to be in there at third base for the Orioles. He, of all the O's, has had to sit and watch more than any other Oriole, so the opportunity to be in, he wants to take advantage of it.
No, there's no doubt about it. This is a great opportunity for him. There's been some struggles here in the early going at third base, and he's got an opportunity to obviously prove himself and show Buck Showalter, what he can do out there in the field. I will say this about young Ryan Flaherty. I don't think the gum is very happy that he's playing third base, because he can chew some gum when he's out there. He chews that harder than anybody. Wears it out.
Good jaw action. 3-ball 2-strike count. He and Adam may have the contest going. This is the 30th pitch of the game so far for Hunter, and he will issue the walk. We talked about Nolan Reimold unavailable, neck spasms before the game. Buck Showalter spoke to that.
It's getting a little better, little by little. The problem, Gary, is his playing has set him back. He's okay for maybe half to 3/4 the game, and then as the game goes on, it gets worse. When you have that type of spasm, you also have a strain. So, the way I understand it, so we're trying to resolve it completely so the game doesn't set him back to square one.
So that's why the whole thing is kind of day to day. They want it to be done with before they put him back out on the field.
Right, it is something you have to be careful with. If there is a strain in there and it keeps locking up late in games, I mean, there's a potential to really do some damage and have an extensive amount of time on possibly the DL.
Lowry at the plate. This is their fine young third baseman whom we saw break in last year to really have a season, and he's got a 3-game hit streak coming in, going 5 for 12 during the streak.
Boy, they think highly of this young player. He brings a lot of energy, almost too much, they say. They're worried sometimes. He goes diving into the stands, always aggressive on the bases, but high impact, great energy player that really picks everybody up in the clubhouse.
Hunter's delivery to him is on the outside corner for a strike. Lowry has gone 3 for 11 against Tommy Hunter. Checking down at third with Ryan Butterfield, third base coach. Runner on at first base with 1 down is Lynn. Count 1-2. Outfield shades him around to right. Give him that big left center hole. And Hunter will come inside to him. On the season for Tommy Hunter, his pitch count's been very decent. He's coming in averaging 15.5 pitches per inning. He is not on that count so far here, as they've made him throw a lot early in this ball game. 2-2 delivery. It'll be foul back, and that's what Mike was talking about. You see how aggressive that swing is.
Yeah, that's an aggressive 2-strike approach, I'll tell you that. He wasn't looking to just put that ball in play. He was looking to put it out over the center field fence.
Hunter keeping an eye on Lind at first base, who has not extended his lead. Lowry's ground ball right back to him. And there's one drop. They'll get the out. Well, but they lost the chance for 2. inning should be over. They don't get it. It'll be just a fielder's choice as he dropped it, trying to take it out of the glove.
Well, there's a little bit of hesitation, maybe miscommunication between J.J. Hardy and Robert Andino. Andino just a little bit late getting to the base and then had to rush his throw and couldn't get the handle on it. See, Tommy didn't panic, thank goodness, because nobody was at second base right away.
One of those non-error mistakes. Now Hunter will try and pick up on that and get the out. 2 down, runner at first, and Rasmus 2 for 5 of the home run lifetime off Hunter. And he will make some throws over, or he can also run if John Farrell decides he'd like to do that. He's had a couple of stolen bases in 4 chances. The Jays are 11 out of 17 stealing bases. So they've done some running. Rasmus will take it. Wieters the throw down. Davis, no tag to be made. He was back to the bag.
Well, they are an aggressive base running team. I was talking to third base coach Brian Butterfield earlier today, and he said one of their keys is just to stay aggressive on the bases, go first to third when they have opportunities, and not let up. And he'd rather see his team be aggressive and run into outs than be tentative on the bases.
0-1 the count. Rasmus on a check swing. Comebacker to Hunter. He's got it. And Hunter indeed does pick up his teammates on that one. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Orioles with a first inning run have the 1-0 lead. Sarasota on Florida's Gulf Coast at number1beach.com. Then you could have a chair right next to them. Oops. Get out of the picture.
He was looking for his chair.
He was. Should have been expected there. Orioles with a 1-0 lead. Davis leads it off. Betemit and Flaherty do up. And the pitch will be taken for a strike. For Chris Davis, career against Alvarez, strong numbers.
Got up to a really good start off Alvarez. 4 for 5. So he feels pretty comfortable up there right now off Henderson Alvarez.
And a shift put on Davis. Not as pronounced as we've seen earlier, but Escobar, the shortstop, moves over. Third baseman Laurie moves over to the shortstop side of it. 0-2 the count. And Davis will take it down low.
Chris was out early today, taking some early batting practice, and it seems like he's always out there taking early batting practice, trying to get a good feel. And I asked him, well, why do you come out here every day? And he goes, I want to have that easy, smooth tempo.
That'll go right into the shift. Second baseman Johnson is there, and that will get the out. On Saturday, the Orioles Legend Celebration Series begins. Hall of Famer Frank Robinson will be immortalized with a larger-than-life bronze sculpture in the new center field picnic area. Be there at 5 o'clock to watch the unveiling ceremony with Frank. All fans attending the game are going to get the replica sculpture, and this is the first of the 6 special Legend games to be played. Get information at Orioles.com/legends. Saturday is the first. Wilson Betemit. Betemit will take it for a strike. Orioles have some left-handers in this lineup so far this year. Left-handers hitting only 155 off Alvarez. Right-handers 268. And a strike on the outside corner. Would that indicate he probably has a pretty good changeup against left-handers?
He does have a good changeup against left. He features that. He throws the slider to right-handed batters and the changeup to lefties.
And that's going to be taken down and in. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count on Betemit. Betemit had an 0 for 3 against him in the game in Toronto that he played in. They put the shift on Betemit too. Same one they had on Davis. And the pitch is taken away.
Well, Wilson Alvarez, not only does he have a really good sinker and induces a lot of ground balls, but there's a lot of deception to his delivery as well. He turns his back, not quite as much as Louis Tiant did, but you know, that ball comes out of there. He hides it really well, and I think the timing of it might throw hitters off, and that sinker gets on him a little bit. Look at that. He turns his numbers right to the hitter. Where's that sinker in there?
3-ball, 2-strike count. Betemit. And it's outside for a ball. There's no question the strike zone we're seeing tonight, compared to ones we've seen on the season, is a good deal tighter and closer.
It does look a lot better. And I'll tell you what, I mean, word travels fast. And with Buck getting upset over the weekend about the strike zone, I guarantee you there were some calls made. Obviously, Buck's ejection, everybody knew about. So I'm sure there was phone calls, and I'm not saying that this crew had heard that, but you know, word is out that the umpires have to really bear down. And
Flaherty bunting. Play's got to be at first base. Alvarez going down on his backside just in case Mathis wanted to go to second base on that. So Betemit, he will be credited, Flaherty, with a sacrifice.
Well, that helps. You don't generally see it done with 1 out, but you know, a confidence builder. If Buck wanted him to get the runner in scoring position, I think he was trying to bunt for a base hit, obviously, but counts as a sacrifice. Doesn't really go against him, and Wilson Betemit's out there at second base.
So now with 2 down, Andino with an RBI opportunity, and the pitch is taken away for a ball. Andino, he and his wife expecting a baby girl due to be born at noontime in Miami tomorrow.
Pretty exciting time, obviously, for Robert. He's gotten off to a great start this year, and here comes the newborn.
He will be headed down on the leave of at least 1 day and maybe 2. That ball goes to first. That's a squibber. Good job by Alvarez to get over there to cover, and Andino is retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a base runner left on. The Orioles, after 2, have the lead. The Lottery Strike It Rich contestant for our game is Alan Sparzak from Baltimore. Alan, you started with 500 just for being selected. And for every strikeout the Orioles pitch during our game, you'll win $100 more from the Maryland Lottery. See how you can turn non-winning Strike It Rich scratch-offs into cash and enter to win great Oriole prizes. MDLottery.com/Strike It Rich today. Good luck, Alan. Tommy Hunter's going to be your best friend tonight. Piling up Ks.
Yeah.
Eric Thames will lead it off. He will take it for a strike. Left-handed batter. 5 for 16 off Hunter lifetime. Numbers on the season at 250. Mathis, the catcher, hitting ninth and back to the top in Escobar.
Whoa.
That's called a pulled foul ball.
Good thing they put those nets up there in front of the dugouts. I cannot believe Major League Baseball went that long without putting those up in front of every dugout, because, man, balls get whistled in there every night.
It's a long time when those dugouts were wide open.
Yeah.
Pitch is taken up high. I'll tell you one thing. You watch the game.
Yeah, you sure do pay attention.
If you were in the dugout, you didn't turn the other way. Orioles have the infield shift on. The 1-2 delivery, and that ball is rocketed. That is deep to right field, and how far is that going to go? Goodbye home run out on Utah. Wow. Ooh. Thames with a homer, and I mean he crushed it. His first of the year, second RBI, and this ball game's tied at 1.
Well, Eric Thames is a pretty dangerous hitter. Big, strong guy. He had 27 home runs in Double-A. I know this is the big leagues, but wow, he hit that ball well. This little cutter slider in, just didn't get it in enough.
That is a long way. Pitch track, Nissan Sale a Minute event, saving your new Nissan. Visit choosenissan.com or see your local dealer. So that will tie the ball game up, and continues for Tommy Hunter to be the bugaboo. That's the 7th home run that he has allowed in 20 and a third innings pitched. Here's the 1-0 delivery on the way, swung on and missed. Mathis, the catcher. Most career home runs allowed. Bruce Chen per 9 innings is first. Then the Orioles have both Brian Mattis and Tommy Hunter on that list among the active pitchers.
Well, fortunately, it was another solo home run, if there is a positive way to look at that. So he's given up 5 home runs to the Blue Jays this year, and all have been solo.
Wow. He was the 33rd time in Orioles history has started giving up the 4 home runs in that game in Toronto. He went 6 innings in that ball game in Toronto, giving up 4 earned runs on 6 hits. He took the loss in his last outing against the White Sox, 8 runs, 9 hits, and just 5 2/3. Had a good outing against Minnesota in the opener. That ball is knocked down. Flaherty up, gets him.
Nice play right there by Ryan Flaherty. Pretty impressive. He hasn't played much at all this year, and to step in and play third base, the hot corner, nice reaction, knocks it down, takes his time, makes a good throw over to first base. Really good play. Nice pre-pitch. Explodes off that set. Nice play.
That's, in all honesty, one of the reasons he's in the game. We mentioned it. Hunter's had some ground ball outs, a lot of them. So Buck Showalter wanted to try and get the best D he could behind him.
Right.
And Flaherty's got a good glove.
He sure does.
And makes the play. Yanel Escobar, leadoff batter. 1 down. Escobar flied out to left field his first time up. Jays with the 4-game win streak. Those 4 at Kansas City. The Orioles come in after the win on the West Coast against the Los Angeles Angels. Flaherty's team with that 10-6 record, tied with the Yankees for first place in the East at the start of the day, but the teams are pretty much clumped together here early on. Here's the 2-0 delivery. Breaking ball in for a strike. Orioles are just a game out, so is Tampa Bay, and Boston 4.5 out. Now Escobar hitting at 240. And he will foul that one away. This is a free swinging lineup in the sense that they are not afraid to try and hit home runs. They will take hearty swings on just about any count. Yet they draw a lot of walks.
Well, they sure do. I mean, They're a patient bunch, and you know, we talked about it with the Orioles earlier too. Start hitting home runs, and pitchers have to be more careful. They start pitching around guys, and in turn, that'll lead to more walks and higher on base percentage.
Toronto comes into the ball game 9th in average, but 4th in runs. They average 5.1 a game, almost a run a game more than the Orioles. They are 4th in homers and 4th in the league in walks against an Orioles pitching staff which is 10th in surrendering walks. 2-2 delivery. Escobar will fight that one off his body, and the count will stay at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Nice pitch right there by Tommy Hunter. Escobar's in a pretty good place right now with the Toronto Blue Jays. He's obviously playing pretty well and does some special things, but boy, how lucky is he to have a shortstop mentor like Omar Vizquel to give him some guidance. Man, oh man. And I'm sure he's settled in and learned so much from him already. And Escobar is a great young shortstop, but man, to pick Omar Vizquel's brain.
And that is in there for a strike. So Tommy Hunter will get his second K of the game.
Well, another tough battle by Tommy Hunter, and he wins this one with the high strike.
That'll bring up Kelly Johnson. I'm told that's the 58th home run, the one that Thames said. 58th to go into Utah Street. 58 in 20 plus years.
Wow.
Here's Kelly Johnson, the delivery to him. That'll be bounced. Johnson flying out to left field. His first time up in the ball game. Kelly Johnson helping to lead this club. He leads it in runs. Tied for first in home runs with 4. And he has been on base 12 of the 15 games this year, one way or the other. The pitch to him by Hunter, and that is in there for a strike.
Well, Tommy's getting the favorable high strike zone calls right now. Maybe it's because he can't get that ball down. He's showing he can locate that high pitch.
We were talking about that between innings. A lot of pitches up. That one's going to go into left field, and that's going to be a base hit. Andy Chavez having to play that one on the hop. Runner on with 2 down. This Day in Baseball History brought to you by Ocean City, Maryland. Make memories of your own this summer. Book your vacation at ocean.com. 1947, Johnny Mize, 3 home runs, 6-2 victory over the Braves in that ball game. In 62, Casey Stengel was fined $500 for appearing in a beer ad. Casey wishes he were around now. And in 89, Ken Griffey Jr. became the second player, along with Reggie, to have a candy bar named after him. There was one problem, though, for Griffey. He's allergic to chocolate. Pitch is fouled off and back up overhead. Our Date in History brought to you by Ocean City, Maryland. Go to ococean.com. Here's Jose Bautista, strikeout victim, his first time up. 0-1 delivery, runner at first.
Jose Bautista's got a very interesting approach. Obviously, incredible power hitter over the last few years. And you see right there by how many home runs he's hit in April. Off to a kind of a slow start this year, but you know that power potential is there. His back foot is right on the plate. And that leads me to think that he's making every pitch an inside pitch, and he just wants to turn and burn on everything.
Yep.
I know there are a lot of hitters that get on that plate and they say, well, if the ball's going to hit me, it's going to be a ball. Everything else,
I'm going to hit.
I'm going to hit.
Interesting. Kind of anomaly last year with those 9 April home runs. That ground ball is going to go to short. They had the shift on second base for the force out. As Dino had to move the other way. And talking about that with the shortstop as he comes in. Ball game is tied at 1. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by Sonic. It's snack-sized jumbo popcorn chicken time, just $1.99 after 8 p.m. And by Acura Advance. Cooler air moving in. We started at 63 degrees. Here's Alvarez, 31 pitches thrown.
No marine layer here.
No marine layer.
No.
Nope. Here's Endy Chavez, and the pitch is in there for a strike. Chavez singled and scored, becoming only the second batter leading off an inning this year against Alvarez to reach base. It is 90% effectiveness in retiring leadoff batters. Lowry's in at third base, and a chopper back to the mound. It's going to be a quick play. A little off-balance throw right there. We'll get him.
That was a nice play by Henderson Alvarez. Even though he couldn't get his feet under him, I mean, he made a great pitch. Chavez hits the top of the ball, beats it in the ground, and he bounces off the mound really well, but then he couldn't set his feet, but was still able to make a pretty athletic play to get that ball over to first base accurately.
J.J. Hardy had a double his first time up. 2 for 6 now off Alvarez. Alvarez is signed by the Jays as a non-drafted free agent. Back in 2006, he's out of Venezuela. 10 starts last year for the club. Went 1-3 last year, but pitched well. Escobar makes the play, and a couple of quick outs here in the third inning. Tonight is your final chance to bid on the special number 42 jerseys worn by Orioles players and coaches last week to honor Jackie Robinson. Each jersey has been autographed with a player who wore it. The proceeds benefit the Orioles Charitable Foundation and the Jackie Robinson Foundation. Bidding closes at midnight, so visit Orioles.com now. Two down. Here's Nick Markakis. Markakis, wow, they had the shift on, so he tried to bunt.
Why not?
For a base hit. Earlier today, talking about Jackie Robinson, pregame ceremonies honoring Matthew Robinson, a student at Howard University. He's from Chicago, presented with the number 42 jersey worn by Adam Jones, recognizing Jackie Robinson and the foundation providing money to young men and women to attend college. That's the case for Matthew Robinson, and he was here and received the award prior to the game. Student at Howard. Congratulations. Markakis will put that one up in the air to left field. Thames is playing over there, and he's got it. So a very quick inning right there as the sides retired 1-2-3 after 3. Ball game tied at 1. Including starting lineups and in-game updates. Text Orioles 29292. There's the 61 division for Tommy Hunter. He's throwing the fastball, but it's up.
You know what, though? I think what's keeping Toronto off balance to this point, he's got some movement on. He's throwing a lot of cutters, a lot of sliders, you know, mixing it up a little bit in that regard. I don't think he's very happy with his location right now, but the ball is moving.
Encarnacion is leading it off. Edwin Encarnacion flying out to left field his first time up. Another one in the air to left field. Andy Chavez. Got some high fly ball out so far in this ball game. That's the fourth put out in left field for Andy Chavez. And the first out here, the fourth inning.
Staying busy.
Staying busy, wandering around out there. Hunter needs to get a quick inning. Pitch counts up to 63. He's really had to throw a lot of baseballs here.
Well, it's nice to. Well, there's the fly ball. And another. Look at that.
It was so high we didn't have time for it to come down.
We were talking.
Here's Lind. Hitting at just .222 on the season. He drew a walk his first time up. Orioles with a shift on against the left-handed hitter, and he goes to center field. Jones going back. He's got room, and he's got the ball.
Well, that's nice to see. It's 4 pitches and 2 outs after he's been really working hard to get to this point.
So Toronto swinging the bats against Tommy Hunter, not making him wait around. And there are 2 down.
Well, you'd think their philosophy right now at this point, I mean, Tommy Hunter's thrown so many pitches here in the early going that they might try to work him a little bit, you know, and especially the first game of the series to get into the bullpen early.
2 away. Lowry up will take the pitch for a strike. He hit into a fielder's choice his first time up. He now is 3 for 12 lifetime off Tommy Hunter. Right-hander with the 0-1. Foul back. Came in with a little extra juice on that one and got the foul ball. 86-mile-an-hour cutter. Here's that pitch division by inning. 0-2 delivery. That one's going to go towards the gap. Chavez coming. We'll have to play it on the hop. Larry's on with a base hit. And they've put somebody on in each of the last 3 innings. Our PNC postgame tune-in will be coming up, brought to you by PNC Bank for the Achiever in you. Jim and Rick will be along in our studio. Mike Bordick here from, well, actually, he'll be in the studio, too, downstairs. Buck Showalter, we'll hear him at the press conference and player interviews and more. I was going to say you're going to stay here in the booth. If you do, you won't get on air.
No.
No.
Hopefully they let me in.
Well, just tell him you're not Palmer. Here's Colby Rasmus. Rasmus grounded out his first time up, and a swing and a miss. Rasmus has been playing, according to those who follow Jays baseball, some spectacular center field. He's another one of the really good glove center fielders in the American League. He can track them down.
Yeah, he's always been highly rated by scouts and baseball people as being the potential to be a really great player. And I don't know that he's quite lived up to all that hype just yet, but I think he's found a home here, and he's going to be able to really show his talents for the Blue Jays. 5
for 11 on the road trip so far. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way. Swings over the top of that, and he gave a pretty good stare to Hunter. One of those, what was that kind of stares?
Right. Well, there's a little bit of that movement we've been talking about, and I don't know if he was surprised that why he missed it, or if he was surprised that it was such a good pitch. But strike 2.
Took a long look. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Runner at first base, 2 down. Ball game tied at 1, and just missed. Again, close.
That did just miss because he's been getting that high strike call. Just off the plate, though.
Tommy Hunter taking a while. Wieters goes through the signs again. Runner off first, 2-2 delivery, and that one inside out. Over by the Jays dugout, and in fact behind it, and will hold the count of 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That was a really nice pitch. That might have been the best pitch he's made all night. That ball ran right in hard on his hands. He made a really good pitch to Lowry, actually, earlier in the inning when Lowry got that base hit. 2-strike slider down. Lowry did a good job getting his bat on it.
Rasmus coming into the year with a .251 major league average. Played, of course, with the Cardinals for a couple of years. Here's the 2-2 delivery on the way, and he got him. So Hunter will get his third strikeout. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Jones, Wieters, and Davis, the do-ups for the O's. Thursday this week, as the first 10,000 fans 15 and over at the Jays game Thursday will get the Gold Glove t-shirt celebrating the Gold Glove seasons last year of Nick Markakis and Matt Wieters. Get your tickets in advance, 888-848-BIRD. Go to Orioles.com.
Nice celebration right there. Gold Glove t-shirts for a couple of our Orioles superstars, young Orioles superstars.
And Alvarez will face Adam Jones to start the inning out. And the pitch will miss for a ball. Key play of the ball game at this point is the double play that Jones hit into in the first inning. Orioles had loaded the bases, nobody out. Jones hit into a double play. The Orioles got a run, but that effectively ended the inning. That's a chopper off the plate. Alvarez, nice play, and got him. A nice play by Lind at first base.
Wow, that was a really good play. You don't see that very often. A pitcher ranging behind him to make a play. Many times off to the left or the right, but this ball's chopped right off the plate, and he goes right over the back of the mound. Catches it over the shoulder like an outfielder, and then has to just make a quick snap throw to first, and Lane makes a nice pick on that ball. Wow, what a play.
Made a couple of real nice plays.
Yeah, he has.
Fielding.
He has. Well, he's young enough to have that flexibility. Yeah. And stupid enough to run over the mound, the backside of the mound, right? I'm not saying he's stupid, but there aren't many veteran pitchers that will try to make that play. They'll leave it to their middle infield to do it.
Going down the backside of the mound while your head's up looking for a ball can cause innumerable injuries.
Yeah.
Here's Matt Wieters. Matt with an 0 for 1. He grounded out his first time up. And the fastball by Alvarez taken down low for a ball. Alvarez has walked 2 in the ball game, 6 in the 22 innings that he has worked on the year. He doesn't strike out many. He struck out only 8 on the season so far. And the pitch is down low. Wieters takes it. And a 2-ball, 1-strike count.
I don't know if you were aware of this, Gary, but I used to actually work for the Blue Jays. I played for the Blue Jays, but I also worked in their minor league system. And I roved as an infield instructor, and I got to see Henderson Alvarez pitch when he was in Lansing, Michigan back in 2009. And he was pretty special back then. They knew he was going to be on the rise. I think they're surprised that he's made it to the big leagues this soon.
Down the line, left field, Matt Wieters in the corner. Goodbye, home run. It bounces over. Thames went after it, jumped up to the top of the wall. It kept on going, and the Orioles have a 2-1 lead.
Wow, that was fun to watch. Matt Wieters has been on fire here as of late. with the home runs, and it's his 6th of the season and continues here. Great bit of hitting too. Pitches away.
Matt Waiters just getting it up and over, and the Orioles have a 2-1 lead. And that ball's grounded to short. Escobar, he'll make the play and get the out on Davis.
Well, here's a look at Matt Wieters' home run. Fastball away, and he stays on it and drives it. When Matt Wieters gets his arms extended like this, good things are going to happen. And he hits that ball hard, but what a great effort by Eric Thames. Full speed into the wall and tips it over and gets the assist on the home run.
Oh, he's not going to want to see that again.
Great effort, though.
Wilson Betemit to second base. Hit hard. Kelly Johnson is right there and will make the play. So the home run by Matt Wieters, his 6th of the year, to the opposite field. All of them have been hit batting left-handed. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by AT&T 4G LTE. With speeds up to 10 times faster than 3G, AT&T. Rethink possible. By BMW, the ultimate driving machine. And by Denny's. Denny's, America's diner, is always open. John Farrell, between innings, went down to see his left fielder. Make sure Thames was okay and that they knew he'd made the effort on that, even though it would go off him and into the seats for the home run. And here he is leading it off. He puts that one up in the air to left field. Andy Chavez coming in. Mike Bordig making a good point. Thames has been involved in 2 home runs in this ball game. He hit one, and then he helped push one over the wall.
Right. Do you get points for an assist?
No, nor do you want them.
No, but I will say this. He just helped Tommy Hunter out a lot swinging at that first pitch. This is a crucial time in the ball game, and last inning they saw very few pitches, and right away swings at the first pitch, so I'm sure Tommy Hunter's pretty happy about that.
He is up to 75 pitches thrown. There you see the ratio. Jeff Mathis, who's doing the catching in the ball game. Mathis squares to bunt and will take it up high. He is the backup catcher on this ball club, working in this game. 4 starts this season, 4 for 9 in the previous 3 starts behind the plate. He started against the Orioles in Toronto in that series. Got his first RBI in one of those ball games. 1-1 delivery. Nice pitch by Hunter. Swing and a miss on it. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Tommy Hunter's got a walk and 3 Ks.
Pierre Arancibia is the starting catcher, getting a day off.
Team Toronto did not get into Baltimore until 3:30 this morning, as they played the ball game last night in Kansas City. So John Farrell trying to find a little time for his starting catcher, who's hitting just 200. Does have a home run, 9 RBIs for Arancibia. And the pitch is taken away. 3-ball, 2-strike count. Mathis with Escobar on deck.
Well, this is how Tommy Hunter's been surviving this ball game with that type of movement. Even when he's up in the zone, that ball has great life to it at the end.
And Milwaukee. That is the second walk surrendered, and it comes with 1 down here in the 5th inning. Tune in to the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report. It'll be tomorrow at 5. Tom Davis, Mel Antonin, Phil Wood, Dave Johnson. All the news from the world of baseball, live interviews, batting practice, and more. That's tomorrow at 5, right here on NASA. Runner on at first base and 1 away. Here's Escobar, 0 for 2 in the ball game, but 7 for 16 lifetime with 2 home runs off Hunter. Mathis on at first base, and the infield, of course, looking for the double play. And the pitch will miss outside for a ball. Orioles with the 2-1 lead. Each team with 3 hits in the game. Blue Jays have left 3, and the Orioles have left 2. Mathis shaded to right by the Orioles outfield. Here's the 1-0 delivery to him, and another check swing. Chance for 2. Hardy over there, and a one-hopper played by Davis. So the Orioles get the big double play to win the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Hardy, he had a tough turn here. That runner coming in trying to dump him. Got it done in 1 hop. Down in this ball game so far, not so.
Nice double play right here. Tommy Hunter obviously gets in on Escobar. Great turn.
Tough. You've been there before when guys are bearing down on you.
Bearing down. Well, earlier in the ball game, Robert Andino was a little bit late getting to the base, and I think Tommy Hunter kind of held up on that throw, gave him a low feed. J.J. Hardy was right on time. Tommy Hunter gets him the ball, and runners bearing down on him, had to get up, throws a low throw, but to Chris Davis's, what he's been working on here, he's been striding a little bit too soon recently. He waits for that ball and makes an easy pick, and they get the double play to get out of that inning.
On the mound, Tommy Hunter concerned coming into the game about command of the fastball that had been up too much in his last start, wanted to get it down. What do you think?
Well, I don't think he's very happy with his location right now. He has been pitching up a little bit, but he has had a great movement on the fastball, and that's what's kept him alive.
So the Orioles with a 2-1 lead, and the pitch will be taken up high for a ball. Here is Ryan Flaherty. Flaherty had a sacrifice credited to him his first time up in the ball game. Anderson Alvarez on the mound has walked 2, struck out none. Hunter has walked 2 and struck out 3. 2 runs, 3 hits the Orioles, 1 run, 3 hits for the Jays. Bottom half of the 5th inning, and Flaherty will fight that off straight back. And a 2-ball, 1 strike count. Flaherty's dad, a coach seemingly forever in Maine, southern Maine. Fine baseball coaches. He made a career out of it there. 2-1 delivery on the way, and that'll go out into left field. Thames backing up on it, has plenty of room. He's got it, and Flaherty's retired. Both these pitchers really settling in. and getting the job done for both of them. A bit ironic. Both of these pitchers were predominantly ground ball pitchers coming into this ball game. It's going to change, though, with the fly ball outs that both have used in this game to record outs.
Yeah, there have been a lot of fly balls. I'm surprised at how many fly balls that Tommy Hunter has had tonight. With the action over there by Andy Chavez, he may set a league record.
Here's Andino. He'll chop that one towards second base, played by Johnson. And Andino is retired. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. 2 quick outs here in the 5th inning. Top of the order, and Andy Chavez coming up. We'll be right back here tomorrow. It'll be game 2 of the 3-game set against the Jays. Jason Hamill's going to try and go 3-0 against Kyle Drabek, who's trying to do the same thing. The 3rd game, Brian Madison, Drew Hutchinson, one of their young pitchers. You see how each has cut down on the number of pitches thrown as we've gone along here. That'll be taken for a strike. Chavez a single, run scored, and he is grounded out.
Well, they're both very aggressive in the strike zone. I mean, that's pretty much their MO. You know, Alvarez, all he wants to do is get guys to put the ball in play with that sinking movement and that action. You know, he gets a lot of ground balls, so he finds a lot of bats. And Tommy Hunter's pretty much the same way. He pounds the strike zone. He says, here it is. If you can hit it, you know, you tip your hat to him. And he's been aggressive. So they're getting a lot of early outs here in the middle innings.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Chavez will fight that one off. And a ball and 2 strikes. He joined us late. Nolan Reimold continues out. He is on the bench. The neck's still a problem. Spasms and a strain to go with it. Day to day. Not clear whether he's available to pinch hit. That's going to go to third base. Laurie's got it on the big hop and will get the out. So cruising through this one, Alvarez retires the side in order. We've completed 5 here at Camden Yards. The Orioles up by 1. Tomorrow's action, game 2 against the Jays. Jason Hamill on the mound against Kyle Drabek. Our coverage on MASN HD 6:30 O's Extra, presented by Jeep, followed by our game coverage at 7. All the access you need right here on MASN. 2 starters who started out 2-0.
Yeah, it should be a great matchup tomorrow. Jason Hamill is really impressed here in the early going. Really stepping up. Seems like a very confident young man.
Jays batting as we go to the 6th inning. And a 1 strike count.
This is going to be a great test inning for Tommy Hunter, facing the heart of their lineup.
2-3-4. Johnson is singled and flied out. Rips that one foul. Johnson against the Orioles this year, now 4 for 15. He's had a couple of home runs, 3 RBIs. Bear in mind, these 2 teams combined for 14 home runs in the 3-game series in Toronto. So far in this ball game, each has 1. Thames picked up 1 in the 3rd inning. Solo. Wieters 1 in the 4th inning. A solo shot. The other RBI came on a double play ball in the 1st inning for the Orioles. for the 2-1 lead. Here's the 1-2 delivery to Kelly Johnson, and that will be up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Left-handed batter will take that up high as well, and another full count as it will go to 3-2.
Yeah, I'm sure he's a little disappointed getting ahead 0-2 and then the fall behind to 3-2 count.
3-2 delivery on the way, and Johnson will foul it back to keep his at bat alive. For Tommy Hunter, 27 wins, 17 losses in his career, including the 101 mark that he has going. Had the win against Minnesota in the opener, lost to the White Sox's last outing, and in the middle the non-decision in Toronto, and that's a leadoff walk. The third of the game surrendered by Hunter. Interesting, I thought interesting note. What's happening to batting averages over the last couple of years. Note at the bottom, last year the MLB batting average was the lowest since 1989 at 255. So far this season, though it's early, batting average is even lower. 253 in the American League, 245 in the National League for a combined 249 MLB number. That one is popped up by Bautista, and there'll be no room. Tom Verducci, Sports Illustrated, ran an article on that talking about that. Where have all the hitters gone? The numbers are decreasing. The pitching performances are moving up, and last year, not a good overall batting average around Major League Baseball.
Well, it sure wasn't, but there has been some great pitching. I mean, pitchers are, they're studs now. They're big, strong guys, 6'5", 6'6", throwing 95, 96 miles an hour.
That ball in the air to right center field off the bat of Bautista, and anytime you can get him, it's a big out. Jones will get it. Along with that, how about this for the Nationals up the road? Their starters right now have the highest fastball velocity since velocities have been measured as a group. They're averaging almost 94 miles an hour, the highest by any rotation. Now, it only goes back to 2002 since these statistical services have been tracking that, but that's a pretty phenomenal average. That down the line is just foul, and the fact it is will help save a run as Johnson will go back to first base.
Yeah, he jumped all over that pitch and just hooked it foul. Yeah, those are pretty amazing numbers you're talking about there, Gary. Obviously the 90s was a different era.
Yeah.
So the numbers did go up. But I do believe the pitching has gotten a lot better. I think pitchers have gotten stronger. I think they have obviously better velocity, but the movement and what they can do with a baseball, it's just is so impressive to me nowadays.
I wonder how much of the mindset that has come out of Texas with Nolan Ryan 3 years ago announcing publicly starters are going to stay in the ballgame with us until the 7th, 8th, or 9th innings.
Boy,
we're all done pulling guys out.
Yeah, well, every team I think would love to do that, and Toronto is a team that, their starters go deep into ball games, and it helps them. It helps every team to set up their bullpen. So to Nolan Ryan to come out and say that kind of goes against the thinking of baseball nowadays, because you have so many specialty guys. You pay them so much money out in the bullpen, but it would definitely help if pitchers could get into the 7th and 8th inning.
Edwin Encarnacion will take the pitch up high. Our good friend Mark Viviano and I were talking about this sort of thing before the game. He's going to give me the information, and I really can't wait to read it. But he found some numbers that have been crunched about all the bullpen use, set up guys, hold guys, having a closer rather than just having someone come in to finish off the ball game. And according apparently to those articles, there's no difference in the percentage of games that are finished by closers that are won, as opposed to the days when either the starter finished or just somebody finished the ball game. Before we had closers dedicated, that the finishing success rate is the same. Agents don't want to hear that. No. That ball is fouled back, and I said to Mark, that really is what this is all about. This is about finding ways to make more money. The agents want to have all these categories: long guys, short guys, setup guys, closers, because then you can have statistics that can be matched with those positions, and you get paid if you can finish in that position.
Oh, you're right.
And I'm not saying that's negative. It's just that's what players and agents hope for. But I can't wait to read the information that Mark was talking about, because it'd be interesting to see that, in fact, it doesn't make any difference whether you designate somebody as a closer, just throw somebody in out of the bullpen, another guy to get 3 outs.
Right. Right. Well, you say it in saying that, too. I mean, look at tonight's game. Both closers.
Runner was going. Ball is popped up. Third base, Flaherty.
For the Orioles and the Blue Jays aren't available tonight, so they are going to have to use somebody else.
Yep. I thought Buck Showalter before the game was talking about that. After he said that Jim Johnson, because he's not feeling well and had to go to the hospital, wasn't going to be available, somebody asked the question, well, who's going to move into that role? And he said, well, who's going to move into the setup role? And immediately started smiling and said, how about Tommy Hunter? Wouldn't that be a unique difference?
Right.
Let him pitch into the 8th inning, and I'll throw the rest of the staff in the 9th.
Yeah.
Tommy's going to have a hard time getting there with that pitch count, I think, tonight. That ball fouled off, which in and of itself is another reason why the whole context of pitching got changed. When we started counting how many pitches were being thrown by a starter, and somebody decided when you reach this number, it's about time to go to the bullpen.
Right.
Yeah. There was a day when you didn't do that.
Well, there's always been that concern when obviously money started coming into play and being careful with guys' arms and not wanting to burn them out. But for some reason, you just, back when Jim Palmer pitched in that era, you never heard of guys.
No.
Hurting
you were
their arms.
expected to finish.
Right, and I'm sure it was around, but my gosh, for the amount of innings that they threw and, not doing the same type of programs, the strength and conditioning programs the pitchers do nowadays is amazing to me.
Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way, and Hunter gets the swinging strike from Adam Lind. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Johnson drew the leadoff walk. He is still on at first base. The 100 pitch total has been reached and gone by now. 101 for Tommy Hunter. Trying to get through the 6th inning. And if he can get it right here, I suspect we'll be back out maybe for the 7th. Although the Orioles do, as you saw, have warm-up action in the pen. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Adam Lind. He has flied out and drawn a walk in the game. Here is Troy Patton, the left-hander.
Well, I will say this. I don't know that Tommy's going to be very happy with, his location tonight, but he has been a bulldog and has battled his way through this.
2-2 down to first base. Nice stop made. Davis was coming off the bag and gets the out. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. The Orioles lead it 2-1. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield will contribute $50 to support the American Heart Association Heart Walk. To date, the Orioles have drawn 41 walks for a grand total of $2,050. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. So, Tommy Hunter, 103 pitches tonight. Out of there, run, 3 hits, 6 innings, and a chance to be the winning pitcher. Anderson Alvarez, the 22-year-old right-hander, remains out there for Toronto.
Well, that's a very gutty performance by Tommy Hunter, man. Like I said, I don't think he had the stuff that he wanted. He did have good movement on his pitches, but he still was elevating quite a bit. But, man, oh, man, he didn't give in. He just kept pushing with what he had, and he came out on top. I mean, he's winning 2-1. Pretty great effort by Tommy Hunter.
1-1 delivery is put up in the air by Hardy towards center. Rasmus is there, and he'll put that away. Take a look at our PNC Minor League report, brought to you by PNC for the achiever in you. He'll be making the start next week. For Dylan Bundy, another perfect 4 innings. That's all he's being allowed to pitch in the minors. No earned runs, no hits, 6 more strikeouts. He has not allowed a hit or a run in the innings that he's worked. 13 innings worked. Batters are 0 for 39 against him, and he's got 21 strikeouts.
That's pretty good.
Not bad.
That's pretty good.
Not bad.
You know, at some point they're going to have to challenge him a little bit, it seems. Seems pretty dominating at the level he's at right now. And I know it's all about pitch count for Dylan Bundy, but it just seems his stuff is so dominating that, you know, I don't see why he can't be pitching 4 innings at a higher level.
Yeah, I suspect that will be coming very soon.
Yeah, I would think so.
And if he's that good, get him up here. 1 ball, 1 strike, Markakis. Obviously, you don't want to bring along a pitcher as young as he is at 19 and hurt his cause. But he is not only a standout, at least to me as a pitcher, but his mentality. He acts so much older and mature than 19. 1-2 delivery. Markakis will take that one. Not a happy Alvarez on that call. Markakis has walked and flied out. 5-game hit streak for Nick. He's now gone 2 for 12 against Toronto pitching so far this year. There's the 2-2 delivery. Nick's got to be smiling tonight, boy. A real strike zone.
A real strike zone. Yeah. Thank goodness.
Buck Showalter got thrown out of the ballgame Sunday protecting Nick, who was ready to explode over pitches being called strikes that were about a foot away. Here's the 3-2 delivery on the way. Markakis down to first base. Foul ball. Just missed. Going over the bag.
You know, the Orioles are pretty fortunate to have a couple young prospects that are mature beyond their years. I mean, we talk about Manny Machado, you know, Dylan Bundy. These are a couple guys that are 19 years old that they just have great composure on the field. They work hard. They're confident kids, you know, and they've separated themselves so far from some of the other players their age just because of their maturity on the field.
We were talking about that between innings, Mike. You just, when they come out on the field, your eye goes right to them when you see them perform. It's like, whoa. I mean, you're really taken aback by the way he pitches and the way Machado plays at shortstop. They are at a different level. They're just extraordinary at this point of their careers, extraordinary baseball players.
Right. They're advanced. They sure are. But I just think how they carry themselves really separates them, you know.
Yep. And the 3-2 delivery, and Markakis engaged in a real good battle here with Alvarez. The most pitches thrown to any batter by Alvarez so far in the ball game. Markakis with the 3-2 count, 1 down, nobody on. Jones waiting on deck. The Orioles leading at 2-1. And he fouls back another one. 9 pitches.
Great at bat by Nick, and you can tell his confidence is, you know, going in the right direction just by this at bat. I mean, he's fouling off some tough pitches and he's taking aggressive swings.
You saw Jim Presley there. Great to see the Orioles hitting coach back, battling that kidney stone, back in the dugout. 3-2 delivery. Markakis up the middle, knocked down Alvarez. And Alvarez will walk it over and get the out. And there are 2 down here in the 6th. So Alvarez pitching a heck of a game himself. He hasn't struck anybody out. Has walked 2. The Orioles with the 2 runs on 3 hits against him. Hunter just that much better. 3 walks, 3 strikeouts with big outs when needed. And the Orioles up by 1. Patton is fully ready in the bullpen. He'll be coming on for Hunter. Adam Jones. Ow. That one bounced off Mathis.
Yeah, Mathis had slider glove speed on that. Wasn't able to get back to that fastball.
1-0 count on Jones. Adam goes towards second, and he's got a base hit. So Adam Jones continues his outstanding start. He delivers the 2-out single in the 6th inning and give Wieters another chance at it. Here's Matt Wieters. Mike, here's the long ball.
Oh, it sure is, man. I know we all love to see when Matt Wieters gets extended like that, and he drives that ball the other way. He's feeling good about his left-handed swing right now.
Thames, the left fielder, had a tough run, and it bounced off his glove and over. Wieters getting his first opposite field home run. All of his home runs have been hit left-handed. All of his RBIs, 13 of them, have come left-handed. Jones on at first. Alvarez has surrendered 2 home runs to left-handers, 3 to righties in the year. And Jones back to the bag with 2 down. You would think Adam Jones would not be going here. You probably don't want to take the bat out of Wieters' hand the way he's hitting, would you?
Well, Matt Wieters is swinging the bat well too, but Chris Davis in the hole, even if Jonesy went.
That ground ball is going to go to second. Playing very deep is Johnson. He'll make the play to get the out. Orioles retired, no runs, a hit and a base runner left on, 6 complete. Orioles up 2-1.
Tonight, bases loaded early in the game. Adam Jones hits on a 6-4-3 double play, but the Orioles are able to put Endy Chavez across the plate. Later in the game, Eric Thames hits a bomb off Tommy Hunter, getting them back into it. But Matt Wieters able to take the lead with a home run to left field. Great effort right there by Eric Thames, but Orioles take the lead 2-1, and they've been able to hold on to it.
Pitcher's ball game. 2-4-0 for the Orioles, 1-3-0 for the Jays.
Tommy Hunter did a great job tonight. Battled through 6 innings, gave up 3 hits, 1 earned run, 3 base on balls, and had 3 strikeouts. Just a bulldog all night.
Now the left-hander, Troy Patton, on to pitch. Laurie Rasmus and Thames will be coming up against Troy Patton. Patton's been called on. The only left-hander in the pen, 7 1/3 innings. He struck out 3, walked only 1. Given up 4 runs on 9 hits so far on the season. Lowry with a 4-game hit streak he extended with a single in the 4th inning. He is 1 for 2 in the ball game. He's had a 1 for 4 in the only times that he has faced Troy Patton. So the bullpen goes to work for the Orioles to try and protect a 1-0 lead.
Well, the bullpen's been great this year. I mean, it's really been the story of the Orioles, how strong their bullpen has been.
Orioles bullpen coming into this ranked 3rd in earned run average in the American League, while the Blue Jays bullpen is ranked 9th. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Brett Lawrie waiting. He'll chop that one to short. Hardy's got it, and the out. 1 away, 7th inning. The Junior Orioles dugout club, Birdland's best value. Kids 14 and under. 10-game tickets, exclusive hat, membership card, backpack, and more. It only costs $20, and there are giveaways at each game as well. And family and friends get tickets starting as low as $6. And our first dugout club game is this Saturday. Find out more, 888-848-BIRD, or go to Orioles.com/dugout club. And if you come, you get to stuff your face with cotton candy and put the hat over your ears. Now that's enjoying the night. 1 down. Rasmus, first ball hitting. 2 down. Jays seem in a hurry tonight.
Yeah, they do. A lot of first ball swinging. I think that sometimes might happen on the road, especially after their 4-game sweep, feeling pretty confident, think they can hit anything, and they've really helped the Orioles out by being this aggressive here in the middle innings.
2 down, nobody on. Thames up, a home run in the 3rd inning, flied out. First home run of the year for Thames so far this season against the left-handers. 1 for 6. He doesn't get to hit against many lefties. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Patton sweeps that one in. It will miss. And a 1 ball, 1 strike count.
He's a pretty good hitter, though. He's another one of the players I saw in the minor leagues with the Blue Jays. And I remember a story about Eric Thames. He got so upset at the single-A manager because the manager wouldn't let him go into the batting cage after the game and take extra swings. And Thames was like, well, I'm a professional baseball player. This is my job. This is what I do. And the manager said, no, you've had enough swings today. You're just going to wear yourself out. He got so frustrated. But that's how much he cares about, his craft. He just wants to continuously work at it.
1-2 delivery on the way. That ball's going to go to left center field. That's going to find a hole, a base hit. Chavez will play it back in. 2 hits in the ball game. Thames is on with 2 down here in the 7th. And that will bring up Mathis, the catcher. For Jeff Mathis, he's had a 1 for 1 the only times he's faced Patton. Good against left-handers, and so he's not going to get to face the Orioles left-handed. So Troy Patton will work 2/3 of an inning, gives up 1 hit, responsible for the base runner on. And in this 1-run ball game, 2-1 in the 7th inning, Buck Showalter is going to get the matchups that he needs in this game to keep the right-handers on the mound. Down here in the 7th inning, coming out of the bullpen for the Orioles. There are his numbers this year.
Done a great job for the Orioles this year. You know, Jim Hunter and Rick Dempsey had a nice piece on Darren O'Day in the earlier program, and he's just so effective coming from down under. You know, he's a little lower than 3/4. Just such a different look for hitters to see. He's just very unique. There aren't many of these guys left in the game, and to be effective, and he's done a great job. He's done a great job this year for the Orioles.
Left-handers hitting 143, right-handers 235 off him this year. Runner at first base, Thames, and the pitch down low to Mathis, who's had a walk and has grounded out. The catcher batting 9th. So you've got Escobar in that leadoff spot. O'Day doesn't want to turn this order over here in the 7th inning if he can help it. Thames reached on a single, each team with 4 hits in the game. Davis holds the runner at first. Mathis will take the pitch, and it's in there for a strike.
Nice breaking ball right there. Just when you think you have to catch up to a sinker from a submariner, he drops that slider on you, and there your head's spinning. What do you look for now?
Mathis waiting on a 1-1. No chance.
Yeah, that's filthy right there. I mean, that broke out in front of the plate. He's so far ahead of this. You got to protect the sinker, and wow, late movement, gone. Foot off the plate.
And a 1-ball, 2-strike count on Mathis. Thames hanging close to the bag at first. 1-2 pitch, and he's gone. O'Day comes in and racks him up in a hurry. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. 7th inning stretch time at Camden Yards. The Orioles have the lead. Two outstanding starts. Tommy Hunter, though, a chance to win the ball game as the Orioles have used the Matt Wieters home run that went off the left fielder and into the seats in this ball game. Gary Thorne, Mike Bordick back with you. The Orioles back into the division against the Jays. We always talk about this with the unbalanced schedule. You're playing these teams 18 times, and these are the ones that are going to count as far as what happens postseason.
Well, there's been so much talk about the American League East being so strong for so long. Every time you play against them, and you play them each team 18 times through the course of the year, every game really does matter. It all comes down, you know, many times to the final week of the season here in the American League East. Unfortunately, not with the Orioles. Who knows this year? They're playing some pretty good baseball, but these games really matter, and it's a great way to judge yourself because the talent in the American League East is really good this year.
And you've got to have the starting pitching, as everybody knows, in order to match up, although this year looks like, you know, the way it started, there's a chance this thing might be a little closer as far as the teams being together in a pack than it's been in past years.
Well, it's certainly that way right now. I mean, the Red Sox pitching hasn't been there. Yankees pitching a little suspect. I think the Tampa Bay team, obviously the team with the best starting pitching, but you know, there is a better balance, it seems. I think there are some offensive teams that might have a little bit of an advantage, but our bullpen's been so strong. I mean, if they can sustain that and our starters can get us deeper, that we're going to have a lot of success.
And Orioles in the bullpen right now as Chris Davis leads it off. Henderson Alvarez has gone the distance for the Jays with the 2 walks and no strikeouts, surrendering the 2 runs on 4 hits. Davis an 0 for 2, 2 ground ball outs, and he will foul that one off the other side and into the seats. Just a really good ball game. It's been well played. There have been some good defensive plays. Both starters have done an outstanding job, and this 22-year-old right-hander certainly living up to what we'd heard about him coming into the season. Davis again reaching, fouls it back, stays at 1-2.
Well, it's kind of fun. I mean, the last game that we saw out there in Anaheim was a great pitcher's duel. And here again, another great pitcher's duel. And of course, the Orioles came out on top to finish up that nice road trip. But, you know, to start it off with a great gutty performance by Tommy Hunter and this matchup between Alvarez, pretty exciting baseball.
And another one back to the mound. That's been going on tonight. That's about 1, 2, 3, 4 comebackers that Alvarez has handled. Our AT&T mobility trivia fact: the O's are one of 2 teams without a home run from the DH position this season. Somewhat ironically, that other team happens to be the Detroit Tigers.
All their DHs play positions.
That's right. That'll be fouled back by Wilson Benamed. Benamed has walked and grounded out in the ball game. Benamed getting the start as the DH for the Orioles. Trying to get his first hit off Alvarez. 0 for 4. The only time he's faced him was in the series in Toronto. And Alvarez will come inside. Alvarez at 81 pitches thrown so far in the ball game. He's been, after the first inning, really pretty efficient in getting the outs.
Very effective.
1-1 delivery, and that'll just miss on the outside corner.
Well, he was on the ropes there in the first inning. Base hit by Chavez, double by Hardy, a walk. You could tell he was getting frustrated. Induces that double play, but even after that inning, you could tell he was really frustrated with himself.
Down to first off his foot, foul ball.
And, you know, there are obviously the hopes that the Orioles could do something to keep that kind of momentum going and keep his frustration going, because that's one of the things with a younger pitcher. You don't know how they're going to be able to control their emotions out there, and you know, run back out there and done something, you know, a little bit different off him. But he's been able to settle in and gather his composure, which is a pretty good tribute to him being such a young pitcher.
22 years old. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Benamed will go the other way. Alvarez against the Orioles has pitched well. He's got a 1-0 record. This is his 4th start against the Orioles, and including the ball game tonight, he's worked 28 innings, has given up only 22 hits and 6 earned runs, with only 4 walks surrendered in those games and 11 strikeouts. So he's been tough on the Orioles in the beginning of his career.
He sure has.
A 3-ball 2-strike count on Benamed. You saw the shift on against him in the infield. The outfield's pretty much straight away. Benamed 3-2. And that's going to go to second, out of the reach of Johnson, and a base hit. Well, with 1 away, Benamed gets his first hit of the ball game. The Orioles, with 1 down, have a man on. Voting for the 2012 All-Star Game is open at Orioles.com/All-Star. We hope you'll get on there and vote at least 20 times in honor of the Camden Yards 20th anniversary. You can vote up to 25 times, though, online. So get on there and cast your ballots for the 2012 All-Star Game. Vote often. Orioles have a number of players certainly worthy of the vote at Orioles.com/All-Star. Here is Ryan Flaherty. Flaherty, sacrifice, and he has flied out. 1 away with a runner at first, and Alvarez will step off.
Well, it'd definitely be nice if the Orioles could add one on here. I wouldn't be surprised if they get a little bit aggressive here later in the game. 1 out. Obviously, there's a hole open for Ryan Flaherty to hopefully collect his first major league hit.
Flaherty will put that one up in the air to left field. Thames is back under this, and he's got it. Back to first base, Benamed, and there are 2 away. Alvarez continues an effective performance, even though he trails 2-1 in the ball game. Here's Robert Andino. He's grounded out twice. Now 1 for 11. Lifetime off Alvarez.
Well, Robert's got a lot on his mind right now, but let's hope he's thinking about driving this ball in the gap.
Baby daughter to be born tomorrow in Miami, as we mentioned earlier. No longer do you have to wait and wonder when the birth will take place. You put it on the doctor's clock. Or the doctor puts it on his clock and tells you.
You're right. Yeah, this is one I have available.
That's right.
Come on in.
0-1 the count, 2 down. Andino will take it inside. Nice stab by Mathis, the catcher, to hang on to that one. Alvarez has not thrown a wild pitch this year. He has hit 3 batters. 89. It's really efficient.
That's a good number for him.
1 ball, 1 strike count on Andino. Runner not going. Andino will chop it foul, and the count will go to 1-2. In the first matchup between these two teams, the Orioles against the Jays picked up the 7 home runs. They hit 252 in that 3-game series. Had 15 runs. Struck out 18 times. Haven't had any strikeouts in this one. Foul back, and the count will stay at a ball and 2 strikes.
Well, Alvarez isn't really known as a strikeout guy. You know, he's around the plate. I mean, this is his ball game. Puts the ball in play. A lot of ground balls. You know, just finds the bat. Just find the bat, which is nice. If you trust your defense, you have confidence in them, and you're able to do that.
That one in the air to left field. Again, Thames is right there, and he's got it for the out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. This 1-run ball game moves to the 8th. And you won a total of $900 from the Maryland Lottery. For your chance to be the Maryland Lottery contestant of the game, play Strike It Rich scratch-offs and enter your non-winning ticket codes at mdlottery.com/strikeItRich. Alan, hope they'll add some more for you here tonight. Luis Ayala is coming on to do the pitching. Ayala replaces O'Day, who worked a third of an inning and got the strikeout that he needed. Ayala's been a consistent part of the Orioles bullpen. There's the lefty-righty numbers against him, and he's asked to face the top of the order, Escobar, Johnson, and Bautista.
Well, you're right. He's been another successful piece in that bullpen. Great sinker. You know, he throws a lot of strikes. Not scared. Comes at guys. Look to do that here. Great ground ball pitcher, too.
Escobar, the leadoff batter, has taken an 0 for 3 in the ball game. Tommy Hunter was able to control him, even though he had the best offensive numbers against Hunter in the Toronto lineup. So Escobar, as we go to the top of the 8th inning, a 2-1 ball game. Orioles looking for their 10th win of the year. Jays are 10-6 coming into it. Ayala's first pitch, and Escobar will take it outside for a ball. We are down to crunch time in this one. Just the opposite of the slugfest games that went on in Toronto. This one has been all about the pitching. Combined 3 runs and 9 hits. And Escobar's taking. And a 2-0 count. He's going to try and coax out a walk here. Escobar leads the ball club in RBIs, doubles, extra base hits. 10 of the 20 hits he's had this year have gone for extra bases. Ayala with a 2-0. And he gets that one in there, 2-1.
Well, I'm sure both managers wish their closers were out in that bullpen right now. Of course, there's quality arms out there for both sides. Frazier out there warming up for the Blue Jays, but the Orioles have a couple options as well. Pedro Strop, who can get that fastball up to 98, and Lindstrom as well.
And comes back on him to even the count up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Blue Jays have lost their closer. And John Farrell was talking about it today. Sergio Santos and an inflammation of his right shoulder, and at minimum he's going to be lost for 30 days. They do, however, have longtime closer Francisco Cordero. They had him as an insurance policy. Insurance no more. He's on the line. 2-2 delivery to Escobar, and he works at full, 3-2.
Oh, sorry, it is Jensen out in the bullpen. I thought it was Frazier, but both have good arms.
Jensen hasn't worked very much for the Jays this year. He's kind of been the forgotten one.
Yeah, he has been. He has been. Well, you know, they have some pretty good guys down there. That they have some quality veterans and some other good arms.
3-2, Flaherty charging. We got it. And it's time to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. Here are the candidates. Matt Wieters tonight. Wieters has had his 6th home run in this ball game. Eric Thames has delivered a home run, a single, 2 for 3. And Tommy Hunter, a solid 6. Gave up a run on 3 hits. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, to 318-26.
Are we allowed to vote?
No.
No. Well, I'm not going to text, but I will say I'm going to vote for Tommy Hunter because that was just a gutsy performance by him. And, you know, that's why he's had so much success in the big leagues. That's why he's a winning pitcher. You know, he doesn't back down. And then successful pitchers, even if they don't have their best stuff, you
find a way.
You find a way, exactly.
Kelly Johnson, a single, 1 for 2 and a walk in the ball game with the second baseman. He's going to put that one in the corner, and it is a fair ball. Markakis on the very high hop will hold him to a single. That ball came off the wall way up in the air. Markakis perfectly positioned, and Johnson decided I better not.
Pretty smart decision right there by Johnson. Obviously, scouting reports go around, and they know that Nick Markakis has led the American League in assists from right field for a few years, and Gold Glove outfielder, and Nick is just saying, come on, baby, go. That looks like a Little League play. You know, somebody say, just test me, test me.
He looked him back to the bag from right field. No small matter. Keeps that potential tying run at first base rather than second. And here's Bautista. He is 0 for 3. 3 hits and 14 at-bats against the Orioles this year. For Bautista, we take a look at a comparison slugging numbers. An amazing difference, even though it's early, as the slugging numbers are way down. He led the American League slugging percentage and home runs in 2011. Here's the 1-0 delivery to him, and that's going to be fouled back. Bautista's also picked up, as we mentioned earlier, the walks this year. He's got 14 of them. Came into the day 3rd in the American League, 3rd in the majors, in fact, in free passes. Not surprising with the respect he gets at the plate.
Yeah, he's definitely the guy that you don't want to beat him. You know, him to beat you. He's had back-to-back years of over 40 home runs, hit 54 home runs in 2010 and then 43 last year.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Bautista down to 3rd and foul. Bautista's against the Orioles a .252 lifetime average with 15 home runs in his career coming against the Orioles. Buck Showalter is hoping those numbers stay right there through this at bat. John Farrell needs that big bat to get going. 1 ball, 2 strikes, runner at first base, 8th inning. Orioles with a 1-run lead in the ball game. Good ball game. Here's the 1-2 pitch to him. Bautista off the fists. Jones in center. He's there and he's got it. Johnson back, 2 down.
Real nice pitch
Ayala,
right there
good
by
job.
Ayala. Yeah, heck yeah. To run that sinker in on a big hitter like Bautista and to be able to get it in there. Really good pitch.
Bautista 1 for 5 off Ayala now. The Orioles have held him down tonight. Here's the designated hitter, Edwin Encarnacion. Encarnacion has a 2 for 6. Lifetime off Ayala. Runner remains at first base with 2 down. Ayala trying to get through the 1 through 4 in this lineup. Grounded down to third and foul. Flaherty's presence in the ball game has made a difference. He's made a couple of really nice plays at third base. Not to say somebody else maybe wouldn't have, but his glove is solid at third. Got him in there because of the ground balls expected, and it's proven to be true.
He's done a really nice job down there. Geez, you tip your hat to him, because to be able to, maintain his composure, young player. This is only his second start in the big leagues, but he showed that the other day playing second base in his first start in the big leagues, and very versatile, able to handle third base just as well as any other position on the field.
Ayala with a great pitch down and away. 0-2. So Flaherty defensively making his presence felt, still looking for his first major league hit. 0-2, 2 down. Mike Reynolds, of course, being moved along with a number of players in and out of the lineup between a position, the DH, or as a bench player. As Buck Showalter said in spring training, a lot of movable parts. Here's the 0-2 delivery, and he'll just miss inside with it. Ayala 1-2 on Encarnacion.
Well, I think Reynolds is close to getting back to hitting home runs and driving the ball like he did last year. He had a great session, early session of BP today. Probably the best one I've seen him take all year, even including spring training. And I think he's on to something, so you build on that. I know Buck alluded to that earlier. He knows what he has to do. It's just being comfortable with it and taking it into a game. But he's able to repeat it during BP and an extra BP. So, I think the more he does that and then just trust it when he takes it into a ball game, he's going to have a lot more success.
Encarnacion 1-2, 2 down. Johnson off first, not running. Ball, another one of those rainmakers. Boy, have we seen some pop-ups. Hardy goes back and just makes the catch. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. After the ball game, he'll say, had it all the way, no problem. brought to you by PNC Bank. For the achiever in you, we were talking about Mark Reynolds. The career numbers in April have never been all that great. You're talking about 107 games here, 21 home runs, 218 average, 74 RBIs, 65 runs scored. It's been an upward progression for Mark Reynolds from April into the year.
Yeah, actually, the power numbers aren't bad. I mean, I think anybody would take 21 home runs over a course of 100 games. You know, the batting average a little bit down. I think a lot of hitters' batting averages are down in April just because of weather. You know, you go to a cold weather climate, makes it a little tougher on them. But, you know, Mark's definitely, really, there's one way to go, and that's up for Mark. And if his confidence starts growing, you're going to see a lot better things from him.
So the Orioles will now face Casey Janssen. We were talking about the fact that he's kind of been a forgotten one. It's only 6 1/3 innings. He has long been a very important part of this bullpen. Still is. Just that some of the younger pitchers kind of moved ahead of him in getting more time. He comes in with a strike. The Orioles looking to add to it here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Andy Chavez is leading it off. Singled and scored in the first. Is grounded out twice. Orioles got a run on a double play in that first inning, and the homer by Wieters in the 4th. He'll show strike, show bunt rather, and takes it down low for a ball.
That's a huge part of Andy Chavez's game, showing that bunt. I'm surprised he didn't show it earlier with no strikes, just to suck that third baseman in like he did in the first inning and slap it by him.
There's that little drag. It's a foul ball. That's the one I would think Andy Chavez. We saw it once on the road. That drag bunt by a left-hander when you've got the first baseman playing way back.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it.
You get it by that pitcher.
Well, great play. Yeah, that's a great play for him. And he's shown, I mean, he can handle the bat so well. He did it a couple times in spring training. And, yeah, if that first baseman is back, you got to take advantage of that.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Casey Janssen will wait. Andy Chavez will back out. Jansen's facing Chavez for the first time in his major league career. Here's the 1-2 delivery to him. That's going to be up for a ball. So Alvarez out of there. A very solid 7 innings work. The Toronto starter gave up just the 2 runs on 5 hits in 7 innings. 2 walks, no strikeouts. And Andy Chavez, another comebacker. It has been a story tonight. And balls back to the mound. And 1 away, bottom of the 8th inning. Follow the Orioles with the MLB.com at Bat 12 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. Live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Just text at Bat 31826 to go to Orioles.com for details. In fact, Pedro Strop is up in the bullpen. With Jim Johnson not available for tonight's game, looks like he's going to come on if indeed it's a save situation. Bunted foul by Hardy, who has doubled and 3 times up.
I wonder if JJ's caught his breath back after that pop fly. He misjudged a little bit. Was able to make a nice play on it in the last inning.
Had it all the way, Mike.
Yeah.
0-1 count to Hardy. And Jansen's pitch is a strike to him. JJ Hardy has seen Jansen before. He's 1 for 5 against the 30-year-old right-hander. Outside for a ball. Last year, Casey Janssen appeared in 55 games. He went 6-0 with 2 saves. He had an ERA of 2.26 and an opponent batting average of 228. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Pull back on that one. Off-speed breaking ball. I mean, he really throttled back on that.
Yeah, I don't know if that was that great of a pitch. Back up breaking ball. Kind of surprised everybody. I just think the way the catcher caught it, it probably should have been called a ball. It definitely wasn't the spot he wanted to hit. Got a break from the umpire on that one.
And there are 2 down. That'll bring up Markakis. Markakis 0 for 2 and a walk. 5-game hit streak for Nick on the line, perhaps right here. And the pitch is taken outside for a ball. Orioles opening up 6-game homestand. 3 against Toronto. And Oakland will be in. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Markakis will take it away. Markakis 5 for 15 off Jansen. Two-0 count. And that's going to be in for a strike. Looked like a slider perhaps right there. What a pitcher's duel this has been, and the bullpens have kept it going. Patton, O'Day, and Ayala so far for the Orioles, and Casey Jansen's for Toronto. Overhands that one in, and that's a strike. Patton worked 2/3 of an inning, gave up 1 hit for the Orioles. O'Day a third of an inning and 1 strikeout. Ayala so far has worked an inning, given up just 1 hit. 2-ball, 2-strike delivery. Markakis takes, and it will be full.
That's a good take. I'll tell you what, if anybody knows the strike zone, it's Nick Markakis. I guarantee if you put balls all around the plate, you know, he could tell you exactly where the strike zone was and how far the ball was off the plate. He just has great strike zone awareness, and that's his ball game, and that's why you see that frustration.
And that's there, and he's gone.
Umpires call bad pitches.
So the second strikeout of the inning. It's a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the 9th. The Orioles will try and win it. 1 run. Is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By Blimpie, America's Sub Shop. And by Dodge. See your authorized Dodge dealer and experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive or go to Dodge.com and check out the powerful lineup. Heck of a ball game as the Orioles come back to Baltimore from that 6-4 road trip. Pedro Stroop, with Johnson not available, gets a chance for his first major league save.
Well, you know he's got closer stuff. A 98-mile-an-hour fastball, hard slider, and he's had a great year so far.
See if he can get the save. He did work as a closer at times in the minor leagues. He had 39 minor league saves, as many as 13 in 2010 when he was at Oklahoma City. Stroop's pitch will miss down low, and a 1-ball 1-strike count. Adam Lind, Lowry, and then Rasmus are due up against him. Lind, the first baseman, 0 for 2 and a walk in the game. Ayala worked an inning, gave up 1 hit. Fourth reliever for the Orioles, and that will be fouled away. 1-ball 2-strike count.
97 miles an hour with late life. That's impressive.
This Oriole bullpen has really gotten the job done for them. We are in the 9th inning, and the delivery on the way off the the mask and back, and Lynn will hold the count at a ball and 2 strikes. Position player turned pitcher. Played positions 03, 04, and 05, and then moved to the mound in 06. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Lynn takes it. 2-2.
Yeah, really good pitch right there by Strope. Caught him off guard, down and in. Caught the plate. See, that's a situation where Matt was setting up, didn't quite hit his spot, and just the way Matt caught it didn't look like a strike. Will revert back to J.J. Hardy's bat.
2-2, and he got him.
They worked Lynn tough this at bat. That ball just takes off right when it gets to the strike zone. It just explodes up and away. Looks like it's going to be a strike on the corner and then gone. Nice pitch.
1 down. Brett Lowry now, he has a single, 1 for 3 in the ball game, 4-game hit streak for the third baseman. Pitch is up high for a ball. Copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Strope with a 1-0 pitch, and a nice movement on that one. 1-1.
Nice slider. Kind of a get-me-over slider at 80 miles an hour, but when you're a hitter and you see a pitcher come in throwing 97 with that kind of movement, it's the last pitch you're looking for.
1 ball, 1 strike delivery. Came back with a fastball that will miss outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Orioles looking to go 3-1 against Toronto if they can get the victory here in the opener of this 3-game set. 2-1 delivery. And that'll really get your attention. 3-1.
That's a little chin music.
96-mile-an-hour fastball. Here's the 3-1. And on with a walk. He thought he had that. So with 1 down, 1 on, updating you on the voting for the AT&T player of the game looks like this. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, to 31826. Results on the O's Extra post-game show. So now the potential tying run on at first base. Colby Rasmus 0 for 3.
Playing a shift, Andino pulled way over in the hole.
And the strike taken by Rasmus.
A 3-4 hole to protect, obviously, left-handed hitting Rasmus, but it'll be interesting, and I'm sure it's already been communicated. If there's a ground ball to Flaherty, he's going to have to turn it with J.J. Hardy.
Hardy closest to the bag, almost behind it. Rasmus waiting on the 0-1 delivery. He'll put that one up in the air to center field. Adam Jones. 2 down. Interesting tonight. Toronto so far, they've left 6 on base. They've had no at-bats with a runner in scoring position. Every one of their base runners has been left at first. And for the Orioles tonight, they've gone 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. They've left 4 on base, using a ground ball double play in the first inning for a run, and the Wieters homer in the 4th. That is the difference right now. Here's Eric Thames to the plate. He had the homer in the 3rd for the lone Jays run. 2 for 3 in the game. And fouls it away. 2 down, 9th inning.
Well, it's a good thing they haven't been in scoring position because they've had a lot of success already in the early going with runners in scoring position.
That's the kind of pitcher's duel this has been. Strope after his first major league save. The 0-1 and a 1 ball 1 strike count.
Well, Thames took a Tommy Hunter slider down and in out on Utah Street for a home run, so I'm sure Strope and Wieters are aware of that.
1-1 delivery, check swing, he went around. Home plate umpire Brian Gorman with the call. ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Trope's delivery. They miss outside. Thames will take it, and he goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Not a bad pitch. If you're going to get beat, leave your best pitch away.
Here's the 2-2 delivery. Swung on and missed. The Orioles open up at home with a 1-run win. And Pedro Strop comes away with his first major league save. The Orioles now 3-1 in 1-run ball games, while the Jays go 1-2, and the Orioles get the victory on the Wieters home run, final 2-1.